Here we go then. We are live. Took a minute or two to get ready. Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another live stream. I will let people filter in as I send you all my love today on Valentine's Day. It's Plymouth Argyle versus Coventry City. We are back with a championship live stream. Welcome one and all. Start getting your predictions in. 15 minutes till kickoff. Plymouth versus Coventry. It's good to see so many people. Like I say, get your comments in, get your predictions in. I'll read them all out. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button. It's free to do that. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and it is good to be back. Sorry I'm a minute or two late, guys. If I'm being honest, it's Valentine's Day. You've got to spend time with your loved ones. I went for some food and I've literally just flown in at 1,000,000 miles per hour, ready for this live stream, and we're here in good time. 15 minutes till kickoff between Plymouth and Coventry at Home Park. We're going to get you the starting 11s and everything you need to know before we bring you the game. Like I say, get your comments in. There's 75 people in here already. You absolute legends. Hit the thumbs up button. Let's have a look at some of the comments. How are people doing? If you get your comments in, I'll read out your comments and get involved. Football Game Champs reckons it'll be a 3-3 draw because it's Home Park. That is true. Plymouth have had a fair few 3-3s recently. Sean says, all right then, Matt, watching this one with you tonight. Play up Sky Blues, must win after those recent results. Yes, and we'll also talk about yesterday's results, which wasn't great for Coventry, but great for the teams around Coventry. I think it was Hull, Norwich, West Brom, all winning. The playoff race is getting quite interesting. The standard is not slipping at the moment, and Plymouth is a tricky one. It's not an easy one here for Coventry. Keep your comments coming. Can I just say, while there's 80 people in here, hit the thumbs up button. Let's get 80 likes. Glimpse, how you doing, my man? Caden says play up Sky Blues. Lewis says 1-1. Ricky says come on the Lions. 3-0 to Cov, says Imelda. Ollie says 2-2. Ian says hi Matt, 3-0. Good to see you, Ian. Hope you're doing well. Lewis says 3-2 to Coventry. Emily says hey. Mark says we need to get 3 points tonight. So many comments. Jamie says 3-1 Cov. Harmon says how am I doing? I'm good, thank you. It's good to be back, and there's 100 people in here now, which is absolutely fantastic. As I say, whether you're a regular viewer or a new viewer, join us for tonight's watch along. It's Plymouth versus Coventry. Let's get the fixtures up for you, and then we'll get the starting 11s, and then I'm going to come back to some more comments, so keep them coming. As you can see, it's a Wednesday night, so there's a fair bit of action. There's 2 Champions League games kicking off at 8, a couple of Scottish Premiership games, but what we are here for is the Championship, where there is 5 games. One of them is an 8 p.m. kickoff, Millwall v Ipswich. You've also got Huddersfield, Sunderland, Preston, Middlesbrough, Stoke, QPR, but the focus is Plymouth v Coventry, and let's get the starting 11s up straight away. Plymouth fans, what do you make of this? Hazard, Phillips, Gibson, Galloway, Sorinola, Gyabi, Randall, Souza, Whittaker, Hardy and Devine. Whittaker, we all know he's the player to look out for. I mean, Hardy's a good player as well, and Plymouth have been a team that have climatised pretty well to the Championship, especially at Home Park, where they are 6th or 7th in the home table. They've only won 1 away game, but that was quite recently, actually. But at home, Plymouth Argyle have been monsters. So it won't be easy. But let's get the Coventry City starting 11 up and see what you guys make of this. Collins in goal, Van Ervac, Thomas, Kitchen and Bidwell, Latibodier and Torp, Sims, Palmer, De Silva and Godden. I'm not 100% sure if it would look like that. Is that really what we're going with? I don't know. It's the BBC's unreliable, so take it with a pinch of salt. But there you go. Sims and Godden, and no Haji Wright. Where's he? Is he on the bench? Yes, he is. Haji Wright's on the bench. Sakamoto's on the bench. A couple of interesting players on the bench there. So that is your starting 11s. If you missed it, go back 10 seconds. That was the starting 11s, and share your thoughts on those. Guys, we've got over 100 viewers. No reason to not hit the like button and get us to 100 likes before kickoff. How many likes are we on? 70, 75, 76. There we go. Go on. Thank you to those of you guys that have hit the like button. If you haven't, it takes 2 seconds. And if you're one of the people watching that isn't subscribed yet, look at that. We only need 4 more subscribers to hit 56,100. We are going to focus on the game soon, but before that, get your comments in. I will read them out. Drop a like and subscribe. Let's have a look. George says, set up defensively today. Yeah, I mean, there's two strikers though, so it's a bit of a mix, isn't it? I do like Torp. No Eccles in there. Palmer's sort of an attacking midfielder, isn't he? So there's plenty of threat in there as well. My prediction was 1-1, in case anyone didn't watch my championship predictions video. I've gone 1-1. I want to know your predictions, guys. Glimpse says, what's your thoughts on Philogene potential Puskas goal? Oh, it was such a good goal, but didn't it go down as an own goal? It's been given as his goal officially. Oh, okay, so it has been given as his goal. I didn't read the full comment out. There you go. It has been given as his goal. Such a good goal, man. If anyone's not seen Philogene's goal for Hull City yesterday, unbelievable. I don't even know how to describe it. He's on the right, sort of cuts inside, tricky feet, and then it's the Rabona, whatever people call it, and it sort of goes in off the post, doesn't it? Great goal. Let's have a look at some more comments. Charlie reckons Coventry win 7-1. Where is O'Hare, says Will. Was he not on the bench? That's a good point. Are we missing O'Hare? Yeah, he's not on. Oh, do you know what? Robbins has allowed him some time off with his loved one, I reckon. No, I don't know, actually. If anyone's got the lowdown on Callum O'Hare, then do let us know, because he's not in the squad whatsoever. Someone's asked if I'm going to Stoke. No, it'll be 2 streams this week. Next away game I'm doing is Watford. I know, terrible fan. I've done a few recently, so I've just sort of taken my foot off the gas a little bit. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I know this will sound boring, but life and stuff, you know, got to start paying towards getting my own place soon. So I'll try and get to more away games next season, but I've still got a few that I'm going to go to this season. But yeah, I'm not doing either of the ones this week. O'Hare is tired, says George. Is that genuinely what it is? It could be. He could be rested. Do we have any Plymouth fans in here tonight? It'd be great to see some Plymouth fans. Of course, it's mainly Coventry fans, of course. But it'd be good if we get some Plymouth fans joining us. Let us know your thoughts as well. Alistair says 2-0. Tanzil says 2-0 as well to Coventry. Purple Bungalow is going for the Desmond, 2-2. Right, let's get the championship table up for you guys. We've not got too long till kickoff, so stay with us and then we'll be focusing on the action. Here is the table. Coventry City have been knocked out of the top 6 by Norwich and Hull. Those little pesky playoff chasers, get out our way. Coventry only need a draw to get back into the top 6, albeit Sunderland, if they win, that would knock Coventry out. It's the power's in Coventry's hands. If we win, we'll definitely be in the top 6. If we draw, we'll be back in the top 6 if Sunderland don't win. Albeit Hull City will then still have a game in hand on everyone, but I believe their game in hand is Southampton away. It's basically, I said this in the Coventry Millwall vlog the other day, it's going to be like this all the way till the end of the season, in my opinion. West Brom look pretty comfortable in 5th, but if they lose 2 games in a row, then Coventry and Norwich and Hull and Sunderland are all jostling, aren't they? So it's going to be very tight, I reckon. 2-0 Coventry, says Alan. Good to see you, Alan. Any thoughts on Kyle McFadzean to Blackburn, says Will. Well, it happened a couple of weeks ago now, didn't it? Yeah, good luck to him. He was sort of faded out of our team now, but he's been very important. So I wish him all the best. And yeah, well, they won at the weekend, didn't they, against Stoke? But they lost last night, didn't they, against Birmingham? Right, let's have a quick little catch up on yesterday's scores. I'm going to come back to your comments in a minute. But the reason the table looks like that, in case any of you weren't aware, these were the results from yesterday. If you want to have a quick look at those. If you're looking at it through Coventry glasses, it kind of all went wrong. Not that we can do anything about it. We only have the power to control our own games. But Leicester, Norwich, Hull, and Leicester doesn't affect Coventry, but you know, Coventry fans don't like Leicester, so we'll put that one in there as well. But Norwich, Hull, and West Brom winning was not great for Coventry. We could even mention Bristol City starting to look like a playoff outsider. We'll keep an eye on them as well. Once again, this is the table coming into tonight's game, so have a look at that. Let me move it across so you can see the points. There you go. Right, 170 people in here already. Can we do a big like spike, guys? We're on 115 likes, which is pretty good, but come on, there's some of you that haven't hit the like button. And we're 1 subscriber away from 56.1. So if one person watching hasn't hit the subscribe button, you can make all the difference. Subscribe, down below. Let's have a look at some more comments. Burgie, how you doing? Shout out Kev being a smelly poo face. No, Burgie, you're so immature. I read that out before I even had time to think what he said. No. Come on, Coventry. Win for Exeter, says ECFC Zone. Mohammed says, I feel like Middlesbrough will just miss out on the playoffs. Once again, where are we? Hey, we hit 56.1. You legends. Where was I going? Championship table. Middlesbrough, but, you know, they've got 2 games in hand on a few teams here, so... my cut-off in terms of points, do you know what though? I mean, I was going to say Cardiff, but Plymouth fans, you know, the ones that might be watching right now, will be saying, look, if we win this, we're up to 39. What would that be? It's still 9 points off the playoffs though. It's quite tricky, isn't it? But look, I think Coventry at this point of the season last year were about 6 points, 5 points off the playoffs, and when you're a chaser, you just can't let the gap grow. It's great if you can close it every week, but the most important thing is don't let it grow. Eventually, you've got to close it as the games run out, but if you can keep closing the gap, you make it, and that's what Coventry did last year. Let's have a look. I did say something sensible before that, says Burgie. Well, no, that's it. I'm going to have to time you out. Ollie says, where do you reckon Bristol City finish? Top half, I'd say. I mean, they're 11th at the moment. Top 10. It's too close, though. I mean, we could get to the end of the season, guys, and there's about 2 points separating 6th and 10th. And then, you know, the table might make you look like you weren't in the playoff race, but in terms of points, you were 1 win away. So it really could be that close. Guys, it's brilliant to see so much great support. Let's see if we can hit 150 likes before kickoff. 2 minutes till kickoff. Hit the thumbs up button. Here we go. In Devon, home park, Plymouth Argyle versus Coventry. My prediction is 1-1. Everyone get your prediction down below. Charlie says, Matt, I'm sorry to say, but Coventry do not get promoted to the Prem this year. Possibly next year. All right, cheers, Charlie. Charlie's had a look into the future. He's telling us what's going to happen. So there you go. Hype says, I want Exeter to get relegated from League 1 to League 2. Oh, there we go. That's lovely. Can we stop being horrible, guys? Stop being nice to each other. Let's hope it's a good game. But, of course, as Coventry fans, we want to win. Of course, if you're a Plymouth fan watching, you'll want to win. Let's just hope it's a good game as well, though. Would I be happy with a draw? Before yesterday, I'd have probably said yes. After yesterday's results, I think Coventry have got to... Well, we've got to go for the win. Depends how the game plays out. If Coventry are not the better team and we get a draw, I'll be like, okay, we didn't deserve it, so I'll take it. But if Coventry are on their A game tonight, there's nothing to say we can't take 3 points. But let's just remember, like I say, Plymouth don't lose often at home park. So something's got to give. Or will it be a draw? Let's have a look at some more comments. Lewis says 2-1 to Coventry tonight. Justin says 2-0 to Coventry. Like I say, thank you so much for all your comments, guys. Make sure you're liked and subscribed. It's free to do all of that lovely stuff. Oh my goodness me. Hang on a minute. That can't be right. Is anyone watching this at the moment, by the way? Let me know if any of you guys are watching this on your TVs right now. It is so misty. It's so foggy that I really can't see that much. I mean, I can see the players. I will be able to see stuff, but the quality is going to be pretty shocking, I've got to be honest. It is very misty, very foggy, and I don't know. I mean, I suppose both teams have got to play in it, so you can't exactly say it's going to be worse for one team than the other. But, yeah, it doesn't look like the nicest conditions. I mean, it's very February, should we say. Hype says it'll be 4-1 to Plymouth. Imelda says, who do you think will win the Prem? It's close, isn't it? It's very close. It's a 3-horse race. I think it'll be Liverpool or City, though. I just have a feeling it'll be Liverpool or City. And personally, I'd rather it be Liverpool just for the sake of change. Because Man City winning things all the time gets a bit boring, doesn't it? Happy Valentine's Day, says Evan. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Evan. You haven't sent me any flowers, though. Right, guys. It's 7:45. We are about to kick off. Let's get this one ready. Let's change that so it says first half because the players are taking their positions. Once again, a massive thank you to the 215 people that have joined us, whether you're a Coventry fan, a Plymouth fan, a neutral, whatever you are, whoever you are, thank you for joining us. And like I say, make sure you have dropped a like. Make sure, like Tracy, you've subscribed as well. Tracy Medforth, you absolute legend. It pops up with your name if you subscribe, so there's an incentive to do it. Right, here we go. The game is kicking off, so let's get the timer started. Like I say, we've got the game up on the TV. The conditions are very foggy. The Sky Blues, in Sky Blue, of course, and Plymouth being the home team, of course, are in their green strip, their home kit. And as I say, the players take their positions. And let's get the timer started because we are live. Here we go then. Plymouth Argyle versus Coventry City. Underway at Home Park in the EFL Championship. Coventry City will jump back into the playoffs tonight if they can get a draw and Sunderland don't win, or if Coventry can win. The power is in the Sky Blues' hands. And on top of that, guys, of course, we will be keeping on top of all of the other scores across the championship. So stay with us to keep up to date with everything, as Coventry City have possession inside their own half here with Victor Torp going out to De Silva there. Oh, and the referee today is Keith Stroud. I only just picked up on that. You could tell by his height. Little goblin, isn't he? I'm not the biggest fan of him, actually, Keith Stroud. I don't know what you guys think of him. And by the way, looking behind that goal there, as Coventry City have possession, I mean, we've sold out the away allocation. 1,800 Coventry fans have made the journey down on a cold Wednesday night in February on Valentine's as well. You've got to appreciate that support. Plymouth Argyle with possession now inside their own half as we come up to 1 minute played. And it's still goalless here. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Cov fans think they'll walk it, says Ben. No. I mean, maybe one or two, but you get that with every club. My approach to this game was, I think it could be a draw, you know. I'm not going to underestimate Plymouth. So, yeah, it's very naive, Ben, to just assume all Cov fans think we're going to walk it. Coventry with possession inside their own half. Nothing to report on just yet. Still goalless here at Home Park. Has there been any goals in the Championship just yet? Let's get the scores up. Only played a couple minutes now. Everywhere is goalless. Remember, it's only 4 games underway at the moment. Millwall v Ipswich kicks off at 8 p.m. And here is Milan Vanevac, who gives it to Victor Torp, who threads the ball forwards, looking for... there's a goal kick to Plymouth. Oh, ECFC says, do Exeter stay up? I'll say yes. I'll be nice. Plymouth fans won't like that, but I think they will. First goal will be in the 10th minute, says Kieran. Yeah, comment down below, guys, as well as your predictions. What minute is the first goal going in today? I've said 1-1. I reckon the first goal goes in on 20 minutes. And who's going to score? I reckon Plymouth take the lead and Coventry come back. Still nothing to report on just yet. There's a lofted ball forwards there from Plymouth. Coventry City mop it up and Kitchen gives it to De Silva and the Sky Blues bring it away. And it remains goalless here with nothing to report on still, but Coventry have seen most of the ball in the first couple of minutes anyway. Matt, who do you want to sign for Cov next season, says Charlie. It depends, doesn't it, what division we're in. If we're in the Championship, I can't think off the top of my head. I mean, if we could get a proven striker at this level, that would be great. I think most of the team's starting to look complete now. Hadji Wright's obviously had his fair share of goals, but if we could have someone else up there that can actually, you know, hit the back of the net. Chance here for Coventry, possibly, as Jake Bidwell comes down the left-hand side. His cross is cut out, and Plymouth haven't completely dealt with it. Coventry come again, and Plymouth clear their lines. It remains 0-0. Alfie reckons 2-1 Cov, even though he's a West Brom fan. And Kaiden's going 1-0 Coventry, Hadji in the 64th minute. Thank you once again for all of your great support, guys. Do make sure you've dropped a like. Just helps the stream grow. And if you've not already subscribed, you know what to do. Get involved. It's free. Still goalless at the moment. Your predictions still count if it's still 0-0 and before the 10th minute. So if you've not already got a prediction in, it'll count. Coventry with possession inside their own half. Like I say, nothing to report on just yet. The ball goes out to Milan Van Evak. And he's forced backwards. So he goes back to Bobby Thomas and Thomas goes back to Collins. Both sides with... hang on, Coventry have given the ball away. And this is the player you don't want on it. It's Whittaker. Oh, goodness me. Coventry clear it. He's the player I'm most worried about. And here Plymouth come again. This is Hardy. And Coventry deal with it for now. They clear their lines up to the halfway line. But yeah, that just goes to show Plymouth do have that level of threat. If we look at the numbers in the Championship table this season, how many have Plymouth actually scored? They've been a free-flowing team at both ends of the pitch, to be honest, haven't they? 49 scored, 50 conceded. I think that's the most. Yeah, Plymouth have been. No, it's Blackburn who've been the most entertaining in terms of goals going in and conceded put together. But Plymouth are up there, averaging about 3.5 goals in every game. Not just for them, but goals scored and conceded, I mean. So Coventry City with possession inside their own half. Coventry yet to really fashion any kind of opening yet. We've had a sort of half chance, haven't we? Where Jake Bidwell tried to cross one in, but that was dealt with. And it remains 0-0 on 6 minutes. Hope O'Hare is okay, says Steve. I'm sure he will be. I suppose that's something Robbins will mention in his post-match thoughts. What's the issue with O'Hare? Did anyone have the lowdown on what's actually up with him? Is he just rested, or is it a bit of a surprise that he's not in the team? Goalless it remains. Coventry City lose possession. That'll be a Plymouth throw-in now. And it remains 0-0. Do you reckon Bristol City sneak in the playoffs, says Ollie? I wouldn't rule it out. But the competition is fierce. You know, there's a lot more teams that want to get in that won't make it than will. You know, realistically, there's only 2 places up for grabs, which are 5th and 6th. So, we will see. Plymouth just keeping possession inside their own half for now, so still goalless. Matt, have you got any predictions for West Brom versus Southampton, says Alfie. Yeah, predictions for the Championship weekend games are out tomorrow. I'll have to record them with Sophie in the morning. Obviously, we can't record them before tonight because we wouldn't know what tonight's scores are. So, yeah, they'll be out tomorrow as Plymouth keep possession inside their own half. Yeah, not a lot to report on just yet. Has there been any goals anywhere else in the Championship? No. Huddersfield 0-0 with Sunderland, Plymouth 0-0 with Coventry, Preston 0-0 with Middlesbrough, and Stoke 0-0 with QPR. Millwall v Ipswich will be underway in 5 minutes. That's a big game. Can the Tractor Boys make up some ground on Southampton, who lost to Bristol City yesterday? Van Evak with the throw-in here down the right-hand side for Coventry. Goes to Casey Palmer, who goes back to Milan Van Evak. And once again, Coventry just sort of retreat into our own half. I don't know. I suppose it's still early, so I'm not worried. But pretty similar from both teams so far. Not enough probing. Just a lot of keeping the ball, trying to find an opening, but nothing just yet. The ball goes out for a Plymouth throw-in on the halfway line. Why is it misty, says Emily? I don't know. It's a bit foggy, isn't it? Rich says, don't like Leicester. Unsubscribe coming up with a laughing face. Well, I was saying Coventry fans don't like Leicester. Personally, I'm not too bothered. Plymouth throwing on the halfway line then. Still goalless here. The attack momentum is very flat from this. Plymouth are a little bit higher than Coventry, but yeah, if you were watching this, you'd know there's not been enough good chances yet to fashion an opening. Latibodier goes to Thomas as Coventry City move it from left to right inside their own half. They give it away there cheaply, and Plymouth come forwards with it. Well, I mean, obviously, I never hope Coventry drop points, but on occasions like this, where the Coventry fans have travelled in numbers on a pretty lengthy journey, I really hope that they come back with something and their travelling has been rewarded. Ball goes out for a Coventry throw-in on the halfway line now. Still 0-0. Hector reckons it'll be 2-0 to Coventry. Coastal fog, says Bod. Yeah. It's sort of, well, it's southwest, isn't it? So that's sort of where it comes in from, doesn't it? Comes in from the west. I mean, not to say that it's much better in Coventry where I am. It's not foggy, but it's a bit miserable, isn't it? We're already talking about the weather. If you've just joined us, 10 minutes played, still goalless, you haven't missed anything just yet. And seeing as we're just on the 10th minute, it's your last chance to get a prediction in if you haven't already. Otherwise, it won't count because it's starting to leave it a bit late. Plymouth fans, plenty of them in that ground. It's a ground I still haven't ticked off, Home Park. Maybe if it was on a Saturday, I'd have gone, but here come Coventry. Good run from Ellis Sims here. He wins a throw-in deep inside the Plymouth half. So once again, there's still no goals in the Championship. Feel free to predict who's going to score first, guys. Have a quick little look at those Championship games. Who's going to score the first goal in the Championship tonight? Let's see who can get it right. I'll go with QPR. What are you guys saying? Coventry City keeping possession here. Casey Palmer. Matty Godden now. He'll shoot. Straight at the keeper. Struggers, how you doing? Good to see you. Says, how am I? I'm good. I hope you are. I know Southampton didn't get a great result yesterday, but it's good to see you. Brooklyn says 3-0 Coventry. Mr. Diamond says 3-1. Gamed out Josh says 0-0. He's a West Brom fan, and I don't get why you've benched Wright. Yeah, I don't know. We're one of the teams that seem to rotate our starting 11 the most, but that's probably down to the fact we've got, you know, a much bigger squad than usual, or better squad than usual. You know, you cast your minds back to about 2 years ago, and Coventry had a really good starting 11, but really not much depth on the bench. Kind of made up of League One players that we'd come up with and stuff. But now, a couple of years in the Championship, a couple of wise investments, and Coventry City are looking good. Oh my goodness me. Callum the Dragon, you did not need to do that. He is too bloody kind. Guys, round of applause for Callum in the live chat as Plymouth come forwards and Coventry stick it out. Plymouth throwing in the Coventry half. Still 0-0. Callum the Dragon, round of applause. What a legend. He didn't need to do that. He's just donated 50 quid in the live chat. You guys all know who Callum the Dragon is, surely. If you don't, he's a TikTok sensation that I talked to a fair bit, and I think I might be meeting up with him at some point this year. Actually, I'm going to try and get him to the Coventry-Cardiff game. That would make for a good vlog, wouldn't it? Thank you so much, Callum the Dragon. You absolute legend. Thank you so much. Back to the action. Plymouth win a throw-in down the right-hand side. And Plymouth win a free kick down the right-hand side now. Cheap foul. And a chance here for Plymouth to whip it in. We've still not really had any good chances yet, but a good chance here for them to whip it in. Yeah, lots of love there for Callum the Dragon in the live chat. He didn't need to do that, honestly, but it really does go a long way. Thank you so much, Callum. So, Plymouth Argyle free kick. Are they going to score and break the deadlock here? I say break the deadlock. We've not even played 15 minutes yet. But it'd be nice to see a bit of action. That said, as a Coventry fan, I don't want that action to be a Plymouth goal, of course. Free kick comes in, headed away by Coventry. Well dealt with there. They keep the ball alive, but Jada Silva is there and he clears it. Oh, but they win it back here, Plymouth, and that's a heavy touch. Coventry goal kick. Sky Blues goal kick as we come up to 15 minutes. Still 0-0. Was that the donation that just came through? There it is. I don't know why it takes 2 seconds to come through, but there you go. Callum the Dragon is an absolute legend. Have we had any goals in the Championship just yet? Still nothing. Although there is someone down in the live chat saying there was a goal. Is it for Preston? I'll keep an eye on that. I haven't seen anything yet. Sam says, hello, lad. How you doing, Sam? Like I say, great to see so many people in here. I mean, honestly, the fact that there's nearly 300 people in here is ridiculous. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for your support. Let's see, is there an opening here? It's Plymouth coming forwards again. Coventry clear their lines. Well, like I said, we still haven't had a really good chance in this game yet, but maybe just Plymouth probing a bit more and asking the questions. Good pass from Casey. Oh. It was a good pass from Casey Palmer. Ellis Sims gave chase and he brought down the defender, which I suppose if there's contact, the referee is always going to give that. But I really do hate those ones where there's an attacker. He slightly brushes the defender goes down and the ref instantly gives it. There's not a lot in that. Mick, how you doing? Good to see you. Or is it Harry, isn't it? Matt, who do you think will win the PSG v Real Sociedad game? PSG 3-1. Plymouth free kick then inside their own box, which is going to be taken by Hazard, the goalkeeper. Smashes it long. Coventry don't bring it under control, and Plymouth just with the chance to venture forwards here. Victor Torps there applies some pressure, and Plymouth are forced back into their own half. Good play from Matty Godden there, and he's actually done very well as Coventry now win the ball. Van Evac, here's Sims. What the heck? Okay, do you know what? Coventry still get a throw-in out of it. Sims just could have taken an extra touch there as he was bursting down the right-hand side, but he whipped it in first time. It was Jada Silva who tried to get onto it, but he's like the smallest player on the pitch. And Plymouth got it out for a Coventry throw-in on the other side. Was Kitchen only a 2-match ban? Yes, George. It was 2 matches because I don't even know how there's certain rules for red cards. It wasn't dangerous. I think that's what the rules are. So it's not a 3-match. I think that's how it works. Plymouth goal kick now. 17 minutes, still goalless. Guys, let's do a like spike just because there's so many of you in here. Let's see if we can get as many of you as possible to hit the like button. There's 270. Let's, what are we on? 190. Go on, let's get up to 270 likes then. Let's get everyone to hit the like button. Free to do. Drop a like and make sure to subscribe as well. How are we doing for subscribers? We're doing all right. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. You can help us push towards 56.2. There you go. Get involved. Coventry City with possession inside their own half. Jake Bidwell gives the ball away. And Plymouth come forwards here. Kitchen does well there. He clears it. But Plymouth win the ball back. No, I don't like this. Chance. Chance here. Still alive. Headed away. Still a chance. That's a free kick to Coventry. On the edge of our own box. Go on, Keith Stroud. Give us the decisions. Once again, it looked like nothing much to me. A bit of a 50-50, but the referee always gives them to the defending side, really. And that'll do me. Oh, actually, watching that back, there is a bit of a high foot there on Latibodia. That's a naughty one from Plymouth. I'm not sure which player that was. Cheeky. That's not the name of the player. I'm just saying that the foul was cheeky. Still 0-0 and still no goals in the Championship. Still nothing. Millwall v Ipswich got underway 4 minutes ago, by the way. And a very quiet night so far. Maybe if all the grounds are misty and foggy, then the players won't be able to find where the goals are. That's probably what it is. Everton Fan TV says, "Hi Matt, only just tuned in. Do you think you'll win? And what channel is the match on?" Red Button, I believe. Yes, it's Red Button. And I've gone for a draw. I've gone for a draw in this one. I think we can win, yeah, but my prediction is a draw. And I also had to mention in my Championship predictions video the other day that if I'm going to have any credibility on this channel, I can't back Coventry every week. You've got to try and use your head as well as your heart sometimes, and I don't think a draw would be a disaster here. Plymouth throw-in goes down the line. Coventry win the ball here. Victor Torp gives it to Casey Palmer. Here's Latabodiere. Gives it to Van Evac. Here come Coventry. Possible opening here. Van Evac scoops the ball in. Plymouth head it out. Oh, no. It's just got up in the air. Only as far as Latabodiere as Coventry look to apply some pressure here. Casey Palmer finds Ellis Sims. Sims wins a corner. Yep, he does. Well done, Ellis Sims. Jason says, "Come on, Plymouth." He's only joking. You should be. No, like I say, if there are actually any genuine Plymouth fans in here, they are welcome. We're not, although, you know, most of the viewers will be Coventry fans, we're nice around here, aren't we? The Matt SB community is very welcoming. Coventry corner to come in here from Victor Torp. Whips the ball in. It's headed back to Victor Torp, actually. He plays a short pass to the edge of the box, but it's intercepted and cleared up to the halfway line. But Coventry recover with Milan Van Evac. Local Jedi says, "I've only been playing for a few days." What's that you're talking about? Is that FIFA? I think they're having their own conversation down there. So it remains 0-0. Plenty of people in it, but not enough action to bring to you guys just yet, which is a bit of a shame. And what makes it even worse is the fact that we've got quite a few games on in the Championship, but no goals. Oh, have we got a goal in the... I think we've got a goal, actually. There we go. Goal for Preston. There's your first goal. Preston 1, Middlesbrough 0. Preston North End, who are actually on a good couple results they've put together now. And if they win that one tonight, they're right in the playoff mix. Preston 1, Middlesbrough 0. Imagine, I mean, everyone's looking at Norwich, Hull, Coventry. We're all jostling, and out of nowhere, imagine if Preston make the playoffs. That's the beauty of the Championship, though, isn't it? If you're a mid-table team and you put 2 or 3 wins together, you're suddenly a playoff chaser. And I suppose that's a position Plymouth find themselves in now. I think they'll be fine from relegation. If they win their next 2 or 3, they'll be what? Maybe 6 points off the playoffs at that point? Who knows? If you're a Plymouth fan, give your thoughts. I know it's a very outside shout, but that's what you've got to kind of look to. You've got to have some kind of ambition if you're not, you know, going to be going down. You've got to try and look up the table. Here's Milan Van Evac. Oh, good effort. Saved. That's a good chance there for Coventry. Shot from outside the box. Looked like it might have just been curling wide, but the keeper didn't know. And it's a corner. Oh, Billy, you absolute legend. Happy Valentine's Day to the lovebirds. But if you're lonely, like me, hope you have a great day. Oh, Billy. You're making me all emotional here. Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. And thank you so much, Billy, you absolute legend. Coventry corner comes in. It's half cleared and then it's gone out for a goal kick. It was Jake Bidwell trying to bring it under control, but I'm not sure. It just sort of rolled out. Was he trying to shoot? I don't know what he was doing there. Goal kick to Plymouth. Yeah, Billy is an absolute legend. We've had 2 legends in here tonight. Callum the Dragon and Billy dropping their donations. I mean, everyone watching is a legend as well, but yeah, those guys are real legends, should we say. We've got to try and distinguish the donators. Absolute legends as well. So like I say, the only goal in the Championship so far is for Preston. It's goalless everywhere else. It was Millar who scored for Preston, in case anyone was wondering who it was. And that's the state of play right now. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Do you think we'll make the playoffs? Says very cool. Yeah, I do. That could be a bit of bias, but yeah, I think it's going to be close. But I have faith in this team. I think genuinely, if the team last year could make it, I don't see why the team this year can't. The only thing is the Championship is stronger this year, I'd say. 25 minutes, still 0-0. George says it's been all Cov so far. I wouldn't necessarily say that. See, thing is with George, most of you guys will know him from vlogs and live streams. He has very strong Coventry City tinted glasses, which is fine, but the stats, what are the stats looking like on this? Pretty even. The expected goals for both is below 0.2. So 0-0 is pretty fair at the moment, I must say. Here come Coventry. This is Jake Bidwell. He crosses it. He's headed away. And as far as Victor Torp, he shoots. That's pretty comfortable for the keeper. I mean, that's the best Coventry have had, I suppose. 2 or 3 long-range efforts, which might be enough. If one of them goes in and we win 1-0, that's all we need. But I wouldn't say we're dominating. It's very even. Hi Matt, thoughts on Stoke? Will they stay up or go down? Ask me at the end of tonight, because Stoke v QPR is a big game and it's still goalless at the moment. I'm keeping an eye on that one. That's possibly the biggest game tonight, with the ramifications. If QPR win, they overtake Stoke, and Stoke could drop into the bottom 3 if Huddersfield get a result as well. Here come Plymouth. Oh, good chance. Cross blocked by Bobby Thomas. Goes out for a Plymouth corner. Coventry have got some defending to do. Billy says Matt is beautiful. Stop it. Plymouth Argyle corner to come in. We're waiting for it. Okay, it's taken short. It's crossed in. And Coventry City clear their lines. Not very well, actually. Okay, here we go. We bring it away. Jay Da Silva. Here we go. We found a bit of space. Coventry City. The pass wasn't great there to Jake Bidwell, but we're still got possession on the halfway line. Latibaudier finds Casey Palmer. He turns. His through ball is intercepted, but he's always thinking of ways to get forwards. That's why we love Casey Palmer. Plymouth give the ball away. Here's Jay Da Silva, who, to be fair, is playing in a more forward role. Oh, chance here for Ellis Sims now. He's in the box, gives it to Matty Godden. Now Milan Van Evak. Now Victor Torp. Oh, what is that? Torp crosses it. It was cleared, but he keeps the ball after the clearance came back to him. Now gives it to Jake Bidwell. Here's Jay Da Silva. Back to Jake Bidwell. Never mind. George says, Coventry looking like the home side in this game. I don't see it. I mean, I think we've played... I'm not saying we've played bad. We've played all right. And we might start taking over as the game goes on. But right now, I think it's pretty even. Here's Milan Van Evak. Yeah, Plymouth come away with it. like I say, I think it's pretty even. I'm not saying Coventry are playing bad. I mean, maybe we've had a bit more possession than Plymouth, which makes you feel a bit more like the home side. But yeah, we're not like totally on top. It's kind of how I predicted. It's pretty even. And if we can pinch it, that'd be amazing. Happy Valentine's can't even read the comments out now. Happy Valentine's Day from Coventry fan Emily. Thank you, Emily. Much appreciated. Burgie says, you're very good at tracking the live play. I'll give you that. Oh, Burgie, you're being kind now as well. Thank you so much, Burgie. Still 0-0. 29 minutes on the clock. The only goal tonight in the Championship has gone in for Preston. Still goalless everywhere else. We'll keep you abreast of all the action. Coventry City with possession here in the Plymouth half. But Plymouth keeping their shape. Well, that's a good pass, though, from Joel Latibodiere, who finds Jake Bidwell. His pass to Ellis Sims is snuffed out, and Ellis Sims pulls the defender, and Plymouth get a free kick inside their own box. 0-0 it remains. Right, what are people saying? Right, let's do loads of comments, guys. Do a little comment spike. Whatever you want to comment, I'm going to read loads of comments out. Keep them flowing as we come up to the half-hour mark. I'm going to get hate here, but I just can't see Plymouth being a big team, says Burgie. Hope this doesn't jinx us. I don't really know what that means. I mean, being a big team's all subjective. It depends what you measure big as. I mean, a lot of people would say there's not many big teams in the Championship. You know, the big teams are in the Prem. But in my view, I base it off like history and fan bases and you know, Sunderland, Leeds United, they're big clubs for the Championship. Here come Coventry again. Plymouth win the ball back. Still 0-0. Haley says the battle between Hull and Coventry is on for the playoffs. Yeah, well, there's more than just Hull and Coventry. There's Norwich, there's West Brom, and Sunderland and possibly Preston now as well. Look at this. I know it might not stay like this, but this is the live table right now. Look how many teams are on 48 points. Right, Coventry, Sunderland, Norwich, Hull and Preston. 5 teams all on the same points, tied for 6th place. Obviously, that could change if the results change tonight, but that is how close it is right now. Coventry will be 6th if things stay like this, but by the thinnest of margins. Here come Coventry with Milan van Ewak. Where's he going? He puts the ball in and Plymouth... Oh, Plymouth give it back to him. Van Ewak! Oh, the cross wasn't very good. And Plymouth come away with it. I think Coventry have grown into the half, to be honest. We're certainly playing a lot better now than we did in the first 10 minutes. 0-0 it remains. Oh, George has said no way Preston or Hull are making the playoffs this year. I'm sure Preston and Hull City fans would have their views on that. I don't expect all 5 of them to be tied on the same points at the very end of the season, but we could see at least 3 or 4 of them spread out over just 2 points. Here comes Bobby Thomas as Coventry City. In fairness to George's comments, it does feel like Coventry are starting to get going. I'd say for the last 10 minutes we've been the better team now. But if we're going to measure the first 33, 34 minutes altogether, still not a lot to separate the two. And still Coventry have only had shots from sort of outside the box. Here is Jay Da Silva. He gives it to Casey Palmer. Palmer under pressure here. Goes back to Jay Da Silva. He picks out Joel Latibodiere, and Coventry are moving it around quite nicely. But Plymouth seem fairly happy to just sort of drop into their sort of, I don't know, back... No, it's not back 10. It's sort of 2 banks of 4 and 5. and they just let Coventry have the ball, and then when Coventry give it away, Plymouth sort of emerge. And here they come, moving up the pitch now, down the left-hand side. Plymouth Argyle with a real chance on here. Chance to put a cross in. Comes in. Oh, that's the... Oh, I'll tell you what, that's the best chance of the game. Cross came in. Who was that? He was unmarked in the middle there. Real chance for Plymouth to score. And it's the shot was sliced wide. It was, I think it was Devine in the box there, number 16. He slices it wide. And a goal kick to Coventry. So still 0-0. Should have scored that, says Alfie. What's the playing surface like? It does take a lot out of the players, says Khan. The surface looks okay. And to be honest, the conditions have got a bit better now as well. It was very foggy at the start. Yeah, the surface looks fine. It's not the best I've seen, but I've seen a few worse in the Championship. It's sort of says fairly standard. Here come Coventry now. Nice players. Jake Bidwell feeds it to De Silva, and Coventry start to move forwards. Here's Casey Palmer. Here we go. He finds Matty Godden. Oh, there's still a chance here. Milan Van Evak down the right. No, I'm getting a bit too excited there. Coventry are sort of forced back out of the Plymouth half there. Still a chance. Victor Torp puts the ball over the top. Jake Bidwell. Matty Godden. Oh, was he offside anyway? Was he onside? How did he miss? Was he offside? I can't see a flag. If that was onside, that's criminal. Was that offside? The camera didn't show if it was offside. I cannot believe he didn't score that. He was onside, wasn't he? Are you mad? How has he not scored that? Matty Godden's about 3 yards out and he's headed it wide. And let's not forget, that's not a zipping cross. That bounced. He had time to control whatever header he was going to do. How has he missed that? That might genuinely be the worst miss I've ever seen for Coventry City. Bloody hell. Let's hope we don't live to regret that. Here come Coventry. Again, Alfie says he wasn't off. He was on. The thing is, I have my audio turned down. Otherwise, you'd hear it over me. So I have it turned down. That means I can't hear what the commentators are saying. They probably did say it was offside. Onside. But yeah, the camera didn't show that it was off. Right, in other good news for the playoff chasers, including Coventry, Sunderland are behind. Huddersfield Town score a big goal down the bottom end of the table. Huddersfield 1, Sunderland 0. And as I say that, here come Coventry. Oh, Ellis Sims puts it over. Big chance there. Coventry with the best chance of the game, though, a minute ago with Matty Godden. And that's also a good chance for Ellis Sims. Now he lifts it over the top. But yeah, there's your second goal of the night. Huddersfield 1, Sunderland 0. Khan says, come on, Terriers. George says, come on, Huddersfield. Do you know what I love about the final sort of third of the season? When you get into the final third, sort of February onwards, you start getting a bit more invested in the other team's results in the division because of the teams around you. So at this point now, Coventry are hoping Sunderland don't win, Hull City don't win, Norwich don't win. It's just how it is because it benefits your team. But I remember at the end of last season, whoever Blackburn would be playing, I'd be cheering for the opposition, and the same with like Millwall and Sunderland as well. Here come Plymouth now. If Plymouth take the lead here, Coventry will be really made to pay for the chances we've missed. Cross goes over the top. 7 minutes to half time. It's still goalless here, but if you've just joined us, we did have the best chance of the game like 2 minutes ago. Matty Godden heading wide from about 4 yards, and that's the furthest out it was. It might have been 3 yards. It might have been 3. Matt, who's your favourite Coventry player of all time? It's a good question, that. From my lifetime, Michael Doyle's up there. Gus Hamer is up there. He was such a good player. I loved him. Who else? Carl Baker was all right. Frank Musa. Madison. Well, no, Madison didn't actually play for us for that long, actually. I'll say Hamer. I really did like Hamer. Here comes Casey Palmer, who's probably one of my favourite players out of the current team we've got. He gives it to Bobby Thomas as Bobby Thomas charges forwards. Oh, Bobby Thomas. And he's won a corner here for Coventry. Well done, Bobby Thomas. He loves it, doesn't he? He loves it. We have got a big goal at the Den. Millwall 0, Ipswich Town 1. It's Broadhead who's scored, and Ipswich are making ground up on Southampton, who lost yesterday. Big goal that. The Coventry City corner is cleared away, and it's gone all the way back to the Coventry goalkeeper Collins here, actually. 5 minutes to half-time, still 0-0. Lofted ball forwards. Chance on maybe here for Coventry. What's that going to be? Goal kick to Plymouth. Yeah, I was just saying a minute ago that that chance there, Bobby Thomas loves a little sort of run up the pitch, doesn't he? You don't get many centre-backs that just every so often go on a little run of their own. It doesn't even have to be with the ball. Just off the ball, he can sort of charge forwards when we've got a chance on. And that's sort of how he got his goal at Leeds, wasn't it? Blue Baron says Gyökeres is still killing it at Sporting. George says Sims is looking dangerous tonight. He's getting himself into good positions, yeah. I know some people that just look at things very sort of plain will just say, oh, he doesn't score enough, not good enough then. But his movement's pretty good, isn't it? You know, with Mark Robins, not many of his signings have ever gone wrong. So I just trust the process. Here is Ellis Sims, actually. He does well there, holding it up and giving it to Milan Van Evac. And Coventry, we lose the ball. Or do we get the free kick? Yeah, we get the free kick there down the right-hand side. Stephen Ward, he played for Coventry, didn't he? Gary McSheffrey. People are going on about random players now that played and their favourites. Gary McSheffrey, I remember him. Yeah, he was quite good. Ian says David Speedy. Yeah, that's a bit before my time. Keno says Finn. Once again, Robbie Keane played for us sort of the year I was born, 1999. So, yeah, I kind of feel like in that aspect I missed out because Coventry were actually quite good in the 90s. I mean, I was only sort of 2 years old when we got relegated from the Premiership, so I don't have any memories of playing Premier League football. So that's why it'd be so nice if we can get to the Prem. It's because the generation, my generation and generations even younger than me, don't really know what it's like to see Coventry in the Prem. Here's Kitchen. Gives it to De Silva. Chance on possibly here for Coventry. Here's Kitchen again. Cross comes in. It's headed away. Only as far as Casey Palmer. His cross. Oh, hang on. Oh. Yeah, Coventry have certainly ended the first half the better team. Plymouth look a little bit rocked, but, you know, they haven't conceded. So I think they'll probably be the happier getting in at half-time 0-0 if we're going to base it off the chances now. But, yeah, it's frustrating here for Cov, especially the Matty Godden chance. I really don't know how we didn't take that. Dion Dublin, says Blue Baron. Yep, I've met him. I've met him a couple of times. Guys, let's do one last like spike before half-time. We've got near 290 people in here. Let's see if we can get 290 likes by half-time. Big like spike. Everyone hit the thumbs up button. It's free to do. Drop a thumbs up whether you're a Coventry fan or a Plymouth fan or neither. Drop a like and make sure to subscribe. It's free to subscribe. Go on, get involved. Coventry City with possession inside their own half. Just a couple minutes to go. We give the ball away. Plymouth throw-in. I think Mark Robins will be saying to the players at half-time, providing it stays 0-0 now, he'll be saying, "You're doing the right things. Just you got to be that bit more ruthless." It's a couple of sloppy passes and sloppy finishing, I guess. And that's the difference here between a 0-0 and a 1 or 2-0. Here come Plymouth Argyle down the left. Coventry clear their lines. And that'll go out for a Sky Blues throw-in on the halfway line. Hartson, very good. Although he only spent 6 months with us, John Hartson. He came in that final season in the Premier League. He was all right, but we were pretty much doomed by the time he even got to us. Oh my goodness me, that's a good chance for Plymouth. Oh, I'm surprised they didn't score there. Good little mazy run. Was it Whittaker? Yeah, it's the side netting. It's a good chance. George says Plymouth should have scored then. And you might be about 30 seconds ahead of me. Yeah, just didn't quite cut it across the goal, did he? It was too straight from the angle he was at. Stuart Pearce, yeah. Oh, do we have a goal? We have a goal. Not in this game, of course. It's the only game which is still goalless in the Championship, funnily enough. We've got a goal at Stoke versus QPR, and it is a big one. It's Stoke 1, QPR 0. Stoke 1, QPR 0. As we go into first half stoppage time here. Half-time whistle is about to go. But that's a big goal, that. Stoke 1, QPR 0. Big goal in the Championship relegation battle. And with Huddersfield winning as well, it's not a great night for QPR, is it? Here's Ellis Sims. Casey Palmer's shot goes over. And the final action of this first half is going to be a Coventry corner. It'll be a Coventry corner and then the half-time whistle will go. And we have another goal at the Den where it's Millwall 0, Ipswich 2. Millwall 0, Ipswich 2. We're going to go to that in a second. Let's just see what comes of this Coventry corner. It's the final action of the first half. Corner cleared away. And that'll probably take us to half-time, won't it? Yep, it will. Guys, if you've been watching the game, or even if you haven't, do share your thoughts on that first half. The referee has brought it to an end at 0-0. What's my thoughts on it? It was all right. It's 0-0 though, isn't it? It's not the most fun, but it could be worse. We could be losing. Is 0-0 fair enough at half-time? If you'd have asked me 10 minutes ago, I'd have said yes. But Coventry did end the first half pretty well, and you'd maybe just feel like, well, especially with the Matty Godden chance, we had the chance to take the lead before half-time. So, yeah, I mean, it's still not been like Coventry have dominated. That's not been the case. But now I would say Coventry have had the better chances. We grew into the first half. The first 15 minutes, I don't think anything happened. It was almost like you could have seen... Well, I don't know. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. But then Coventry and Plymouth both grew into the game. Coventry have had the better chances, in particular with Matty Godden. Whittaker's looked dangerous for Plymouth, but like I say, Coventry will be the team kicking themselves at half-time that they haven't scored. 0-0. Nino says Plymouth have had their chances also. Yeah, I mean, if you could say what's the fairest score, it'd either be level or Coventry by 1 goal. It's between those two. Maybe if it was Plymouth 0, Coventry 0.5, that would be a fair score at half-time. Let's have a look at the other scores then, guys. Get your comments in. I'm going to read them all out. We've got half-time now, so we can do some Q&A. Please make sure you've dropped a like. And if you haven't already subscribed, what are you playing at? What are you playing at? Hit the subscribe button down below. Right, here we go. Huddersfield 1, Sunderland 0 is a half-time score. Plymouth 0, Coventry 0 is a half-time score. Preston 1, Middlesbrough 0 is a half-time score. Stoke 1, QPR 0 is a half-time score. And in the 8 p.m. kickoff, it is Millwall 0, Ipswich Town 2. Which means, if we have a little look at the table, take it with a pinch of salt because it's half time in most of the games. You know, we're not even. Oh, what is it? Frozen. It's frozen. Brilliant. Is it actually not going to work? Let's press the refresh button. Jesus. It's not working. Right, let's come off that then. There you go. There you go. I can't show you the table. Let's have another look. Let's see if it works again. Oh, it's trying to refresh now. We'll get the table up in a minute then. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Stoke are a good club. Got some good history, says Liam. We need a win to stay in it, says Khan, for the playoffs. Yeah, a win to feel like we're in control because it'll put us a couple points ahead of everyone else. But a draw will technically, as things stand, put Coventry 6th, providing Sunderland don't come back and win. So, yeah, I do feel like, though, looking at what we've seen so far, there's no reason to say Coventry can't win this game. But you could look at it the other way and say Plymouth didn't massively turn up for that half. Are they about to turn up for the second half and make Coventry, you know, regret not taking certain chances? It can work that way as well. Matt, do you ever see any trouble at Cov games? Yeah, I mean, in the time I have been supporting Cov, I've seen a bit of trouble, but like not on a regular basis. The most common thing you'll see is if there's a bit of aggro between the fans, they might sort of charge towards each other, but not really do anything. Just trying to provoke them when they've scored and stuff. But yeah, I have seen fighting like maybe 3 or 4 times at Cov games. Coventry and Sunderland have seen some fighting. Coventry and Sheffield United have seen some fighting. And Coventry and Derby it all kicked off as well. And that was quite nasty, actually. Richard says, a win needed today. ... We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I mean, like I say, there's no reason to say Coventry can't win it. But... yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Let's have a look at some more comments. Championship just has the rawness that's been sucked out of the Prem. Refreshing to watch. Could be a blessing in disguise with being a blue, says Liam. I mean, to be honest, not that I want to see an Everton go down, but imagine them in the Championship. I mean, that would be quite crazy. I mean, you know, if you look at it from the Premier League perspective, it's quite weird, isn't it? The Premier League without Everton. But if you look at it through the Championship perspective, the Championship with Everton is crazy. I mean, it is going to be, you know, the big draw, you know, the big sort of everyone's going to go there wanting to upset them. You know, it's the cup final game, I suppose, isn't it? So, yeah, I don't want to see them go down. But if things lead to them going down, we've got to be honest, it would be like the most exciting away game, wouldn't it, for everyone? Especially with the fact next season as well, I think, is the last season at Goodison. The season after is when they go to the new ground. Delone Zone says, Saints, Whites or Tractors for second. So he's asking me Southampton, Leeds or Ipswich to finish second. It is very close. If Ipswich win tonight, which they look like they will drag themselves really into a good position. Although most people are starting to think it'll be probably Leeds or Southampton, it is important to still highlight that Ipswich are still there. Southampton have been on a very good run, 25 unbeaten. You wonder, now that's ended, will it maybe swing the other way a little bit? Will it be back-to-back defeats or something like that? They have got West Brom away on Friday, which is a tricky game in the Championship. Leeds United, they've won about 7 in a row. I think it's too close to call. And let's not forget, guys, Leeds play Southampton on the final day. That will be absolutely crazy at Ellen Road. Right, we've got the Championship table up for you guys while it's half-time. These are the placings. I'll let you have a look at that while I have a sip of my beer. What do you make of it? What do you make of the Championship table right now? Still 0-0 in both of the Champions League games at the moment. Yes, that's right, yeah. It's so close, isn't it? Sunderland now on 47 points, dropped down to 10th. It's so close in the playoff race. I mean, the fight for second is close. The playoff race is close. And as you go down the table, the relegation battle will look closer if QPR can get something at Stoke. Even a draw will make it look a bit closer as QPR will move up to 30 points. So that's how things are. Let's have a look. Burgie says, when was the last back-to-back promotion? Why are we thinking? Because Ipswich might do it. From League One all the way to the Prem, I think it's Southampton. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's Southampton about 12 years ago. They went from League One straight to the Prem. If anyone knows of another one out since then let me know. Norwich did it about a year or two before that as well. Just like the weekend, possession but not creating chances, says Comical Boxer. He says play up Sky Blues. Still 0-0 in both Champions League games, says Macaulay family. Yes. Khan says, Matt, have you seen the Sky Blue fixture list? It seems we have got a lot of away games in the next few weeks. Yes, you've got to just get through them, haven't you? Thankfully, the Cup has been nice to us and we haven't got an away game in the Cup draw, in the FA Cup, should I say. So you've got to try and take the positives, haven't you? And if we can get through Plymouth and Stoke away with 4 points, I'd be very happy. Starting with tonight, can we win? Or will it be a draw? Or will we lose? We don't know. Right, while it's half time, the game's back in about 5 minutes. I'm going to go for a quick little break. I'll be about 1 minute, no more than that. So don't go anywhere. Or if you are, make sure you come back. I'll be 1 minute. I'll see you soon. It's half time, 0-0, and I'll be back in a minute. Right, I am back. Thank you to those of you guys that stayed. 215 of you sat while I went for a 1 minute break. You're amazing. Guys, let's do it. Full-time predictions. Get your comments in. How will this finish? Have you changed your mind since the start of the game? Do you now think there's going to be less goals than your original prediction, or are you sticking with your original prediction? Comment down below. Your full-time predictions. How is this one going to finish? I might as well stick with 1-1 because there's still a good chance it'll come in. But based on how we ended the first half, I don't see why Coventry can't win it. But once again, Plymouth might win it. It's really close with it being 0-0. Get your full-time predictions down below. Let's get them all in. What are people saying? How's this one going to finish? Comment down below. And once again, if you've not already hit the like button, what are we on? 283. Let's see if we can get 290. We're only 7 away. Hit the like button, and then we'll go for 300 next. Back to the Den, which was an 8 PM kickoff, remember. Just to update you, it's still 2-0 to Ipswich. The Tractor Boys still leading at the Den 2-0 as they look to try and close the gap on the teams in the top 2 race. Right, like I said, it's the second half coming at us in a minute or two. Let's have a look at some of your predictions. 2-1 to Cov, but Plymouth will score first, says DeLone Zone. Liam says Cov win this 3-1. Football Game Champs says 2-1 Cov. Come on Leicester, says House Culture. Okay, we've got a Leicester fan in here. Jake says 1-1. Emily says 2-1 Cov. No, sorry, 2-1 Plymouth. Outrageous. 2-1 Plymouth says Everton forever. Cov are wow. I'm going to have to ban you. We don't mind you backing other teams to win, but you can't use words like that. That's outrageous. Cov 1-0 says Ollie. Cov 1-0 says Football Game Champs. Macaulay says 1-0 Cov. Most people going for Cov. There's a couple of draws and a couple of Plymouths in there. Purple Bungalow is sticking with a 2-2. Let's get rid of that comment. Naughty comment. So keep your comments coming. The players are going to start coming back out now. Yeah, I'll stick with 1-1. That way I don't feel like there's pressure on us to win. You know, if you sometimes sort of sit back and reassess and you say a draw wouldn't be bad, then you feel a bit more like, hey, we won if you win. Otherwise, you know, if you have high expectations, you can only ever be disappointed or just, what would it be? Satisfied. 2-1 Cov, says Luca. Alistair says still 2-0 and Forest will stay up. There we go. Lee says 1-0 Cov. The den has collapsed, says DeLone. Well, it has. Let's get an update from the den. 3-0 Ipswich. The den has collapsed, and I can imagine there's a bit of negativity, a bit of booing from the home fans. They've got to be. This run of form is not very good, and it's now starting to look like Millwall could be the team in trouble. I mean, let's not take away from Ipswich. Great result. I can't see them messing that up now, but if you look at the Championship table, it's Millwall who are starting to become the team hovering above the bottom three. Yeah, look at that. If QPR can get something, then they'll go within striking distance of Millwall at the weekend. What else we got? Praying for a Borough Preston draw. Someone said, yeah, I suppose that would benefit the playoff chasers if those two can cancel each other out because they're both, you know, chasing the playoffs, aren't they? But Preston still lead that game. So just as the players start to come back out, let's just remind you of the scores. It is 1-0 to Huddersfield against Sunderland. Goalless here. Preston 1, Middlesbrough 0. Stoke 1, QPR 0. And Millwall 0, Ipswich 3 as they head towards half-time. Right, let's reset things because the players are back out. Oh, not that one. No, that's too early. Let's reset it. There we go. So we are all set and ready to go for the second half. Like I say, get your predictions down below if you haven't already. How is this one going to finish? And here we go. For Plymouth versus Coventry, part 2. Well, I say part 2, second half. If you haven't already got your predictions in, get them in. Give you one last chance to get your predictions in for full time. I'm sticking with 1-1. And Coventry City with possession here inside our own half. Come on, boys. Wouldn't it be great if we could win this one? With Sunderland losing as well, wouldn't be a bad night, would it? Hype says Forest are going to get relegated. I genuinely don't know how to feel about the Premier League relegation battle. After the weekend, I'm now looking at Luton like, hang on a minute. But then if Everton and Forest get hit with points deductions, then it all changes, doesn't it? So it's too close to call right now. Plymouth now with possession inside their own half. Plymouth throw-in. 0-0. 46 on the clock. Can I just do another little like spike, by the way, guys? If there's 250 people in there, I can guarantee not every single one of you have subscribed. So please do take 2 seconds before we get any goals and we focus on that to make sure you've hit the subscribe button. It is free to do if you click the subscribe button down there, and it really helps the channel grow. So yeah, get involved by subscribing. down there. Here come Plymouth. No. Coventry clear it. Not very far. Hang on a minute. I don't like this. Plymouth have come out with fresh legs. Here they come. Good defending. Coventry clear their lines for now. Well done, Bobby Thomas. Smacks it up the line, and that'll be another throw in here. This time to Plymouth. 0-0 it remains. Come on, everyone, says Purple Bungalow. Drop the like. Oh, are we close to 300 yet? We've got to be close to 300. 298. 298 likes. 2 likes takes us to 300. There you go. Coventry clear their lines after a Plymouth spell with possession in the Coventry half. 48 minutes on the clock. And Coventry move with the ball into Plymouth's half. The Great Blue Boy says Cov should win. I don't like that kind of pressure. It's the Championship. Anyone can beat anyone. Here come Argyle and Coventry. Take it back off them. Both sides trying to look for that early goal. Early second half goal, I should say. We've gone over 300 likes, you legends. Whee! Thank you so much for that. Mark says, cannot get CWR in the States, Matt. So thanks for the channel. No worries. Cheers for tuning in from the US of A. I mean, I quite like listening to Clive and Oggy on the way home when I go to a game. But nothing quite lives up to the levels of a Matt SB stream, does it? Goalless it remains. Plymouth Argyle goal kick. 49 on the clock now. And like I say, nothing to report on from the second half just yet. Would be a bit of an anticlimax if this finishes 0-0. I mean, it wouldn't be the totally the worst thing in the world for the Coventry fans that have travelled down there. A defeat would be worse, but yeah, 0-0 would be a real sort of anticlimax after that journey. Coventry City get a corner here. There's a good chance that was for Matty Godden. Actually, looking at that back, that was a really good chance. Do you know what? I'm not like a defender of Matty Godden from criticism, but I don't like to see him get criticised by some fans. But you have got to say his chances he's had today, he really should have scored in the first half, and he possibly could have scored there. I wonder at what point Mark Robbins will bring on Hadji Wright. I'm sure he will at some point, and it'll be Sakamoto to come on as well, I'm sure. Coventry's corner nearly caused Plymouth some problems, but they clear the lines. 5 minutes of the second half played, 50 on the clock, 0-0 it remains. Macaulay family says, when did you start the channel? Lockdown 2020, so nearly 4 years in the making, this channel now. And to get to 56,000 subscribers in that time is really good. I don't really remember sort of setting any expectations or targets, but to think we're doing as well as we are is amazing, and it's down to you guys. You guys supporting it really helps. So thank you so much. Coventry with possession inside their own half. 0-0 it remains. Let's have a look at some more comments. Sakamoto is really good. He is. Matt SB, Godden has missed 2, says Emily. Yeah, 1 was really good chance, but yeah, he's had 1 or 2 other half chances as well. And it's Coventry now moving forwards with it. Can they break the deadlock? Here's Casey Palmer. He lets rip. Oh, goodness me. His shot didn't have any kind of bend on it, and it just sort of went straight and out for a goal kick to Plymouth. It's one of them when you cut in on your right foot, just a little bit of an angle, and you're sort of thinking if he can curl it with the inside of his foot, that will curl nicely towards the far post and possibly in, but he didn't. He kind of hit it with his laces and it went the other way. It kind of curled away from the goal, and Plymouth have a goal kick which they've taken now. 0-0 it remains. No goals in the last 5 or 10 minutes in the Championship. So just a reminder, Huddersfield 1-0, Preston 1-0, Stoke 1-0 and Ipswich 3-0. Unfortunately, we're the only game without any goals so far, but that's the more the reason to stay, because that means we're definitely getting the next goal, aren't we? Coventry City with possession here, inside our own half. 0-0 it remains. Macaulay family says Luton have surprised lots of people. They have. They've been very good. Lofted ball forwards here as Coventry come on the offensive. De Silva is offside. Callum O'Hare, irate, says Luca. Yeah, he's a very good player. And we've got a couple of those gems now, you know, whereas a couple of years ago, Coventry would be lucky to have one player like that. But we've now got, you know, Callum O'Hare, Casey Palmer, Sakamoto as well. So, yeah, we've got a couple of those sort of attacking players. 0-0 it remains as Plymouth look to come forwards here. And there could be a chance on here. Oh, you're joking me. It's 1-0 Plymouth. It's 1-0 to the home side. Well, that's what happens. When you don't take your chances, you're made to pay. And it's, yeah. Oh. 8 minutes into the second half. And who else? Morgan Whittaker. We knew he was the dangerous player. And he's proved to be exactly that. It's 1-0 to Plymouth on 53, 54 minutes. And George says it in the live chat. We've missed the good chances. And that's what happens in football. It's frustrating, but it's true. So Coventry are going to have to do it the hard way and come from behind. But that really is a sort of sucker punch after, you know, the chances Matty Godden's had. And Coventry look to get the game back underway after that one. Share your thoughts, guys. Plymouth take the lead. It was on 54 minutes, actually, when that one went in. And, yeah, Morgan Whittaker with the goal. Well, there's not a lot we can do about that now. Coventry have got 35 minutes, 36 minutes to try and rescue something from this. We shall see. I mean, it gives Plymouth an incentive to just drop back a little bit and be a little bit more cautious. But there we go. Purple Bungalow says, don't worry, Matt. 1-1 is still on. Yeah. It's just frustrating, isn't it? Let's pick our heads up, though, and go again. Lucas says, let's get 500 likes. Go on, then. You can help us push to something that will cheer me up. 500 likes and there'll be another goal. That's an incentive to drop a like. Plymouth fans, what do we make of that? You must be buzzing. Coventry fans, is that just typical when you don't take your chances? Has there been any changes in the other games as Coventry have possession inside their own half? No. Still Huddersfield 1-0, Preston 1-0 and Stoke 1-0 and Ipswich 3-0. So Coventry won't be in the playoffs tonight as things stand. A draw will be enough to keep us in there, but we're not even drawing now. So we go again as Coventry City look to try and get themselves right back in this. There's definitely a goal in us. And like I said, I predicted 1-1 for a reason. I think we could get a draw from this. Latibodia here. Are we starting to think, Haji Wright, Sakamoto, bring one of those on soon? Yeah, Coventry just getting a bit frustrated. There's a little bit more of a rush and an urgency about our play, and we give the ball away there. It remains 1-0. Plymouth with possession inside their own half as we creep a little bit closer towards the hour mark. Thing is now, Coventry just got to be cautious that Plymouth don't go down the other end and get a second. I think it's obvious, but next goal is crucial. If Plymouth get the next goal, I think Coventry will be done. I can't remember the last time Coventry came back from 2 goals down on the road to get something. It'd probably be a year ago or so. I don't think we've had one this season where we've come back. You can correct me if I'm wrong. And Plymouth do come forwards here. It's Whittaker. He's dispossessed, but he does make me worry. He took his goal very well, by the way. It was Coventry just kind of like getting caught out, and Plymouth just left down the left-hand side. The ball was cut back very well, and Whittaker found the space to smash it past Collins to make it 1-0. And Coventry City will have to go again. Here we come down the left. Here's Jake Bidwell. Plymouth just sort of keep it away for now. Has there been another goal in the Championship? Have I missed something? But there has. There's been an equaliser, not for Coventry, unfortunately, but for Middlesbrough, levelling things up at Deepdale. Preston 1, Middlesbrough 1. So we'll keep an eye on that game. 1 apiece. Plymouth Argyle here with possession on the halfway line. Coventry City win it off them. First time I've heard the Plymouth fans all game, says George. Well, I've got mine turned down, so I can't actually hear what's going on, but there you go. Oh, that could have been 2-0 to Plymouth there. Well, that goal has given them confidence, hasn't it? No doubt, and it's just a little bit uneasy here for Coventry now. Let's get some comments in. What people saying? Come on, guys, we're better than this, is Yusuf. Well, the score doesn't say so. Van Ivak gives it to Kitchen. He gives it to Bidwell. Half an hour then. That's plenty of time though, isn't it? And once again, I mean, I suppose goal difference is important, but points are more important. We've got to, as the game gets later and later, push more bodies forwards. Plymouth have got lots of bodies back when... Oh, the referee. He is a goblin, isn't he? He's a goblin. I'm sorry, Keith Stroud. I'm taking my anger out on you. But I didn't really like him before tonight anyway. It remains 1-0. Plymouth free kick inside their own half. And they're making some subs to slow things down a little bit. Charlie says up the Argyle. Local Jedi says, to be fair, you did predict Plymouth to score first. Yeah, I did say 1-1, Plymouth score first. So, you know, I'm halfway there. Oh, there's another goal at Deepdale, guys. Middlesbrough had just equalised. Who do you reckon's gone in front now? Preston again. Preston 2, Middlesbrough 1. Middlesbrough were level for 2 minutes. So Preston 2, Middlesbrough 1. 29 minutes to go. Plymouth 1, Coventry 0. There's no doubt about it. This result is a big setback. I can handle losing, and teams are allowed to lose in the season, but it will have been a really bad week here for Coventry because literally Norwich, Hull and West Brom all won yesterday. And if Coventry lose, we've lost 3 points on all of them. Hadji Wright comes on for Coventry. He comes on for Matty Godden. And Sakamoto comes on as well, actually. for Jake Bidwell. It's attacking changes there. Had to be done. Hadji's new hairstyle works, doesn't it? He got the goals against Millwall. Emily says, Matt, you're a legend. Cheer up, buddy. I'm all right. 63 on the clock. Well, 62 on the clock, actually. Plymouth 1, Coventry 0. George says, I don't mind losing when we've played badly, but when we've played well, he finds it more frustrating. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Yeah. Like I say, first half, we definitely had, you know, the best chance. But that's how football is. I mean, there will have been games this season where Coventry haven't played too well and taken 3 points. And tonight we've played fairly well and we're losing, but it's not over. Coventry get a free kick inside their own half. We've got to try and carve out chances quite consistently here. I do think we're looking... Well, it's too early to say Coventry can't win. We can still win, but the later it gets, the more you start to think, I'll take a draw now. There's no contact there, ref. I knew he was going to give it. What colour shirt are Coventry wearing today, says Struggers? The home kit, sky blue and white stripes. How do you get a yellow card for that? Keith Stroud, you are a goblin, honestly. He's just a goblin, isn't he? He's just a goblin. Honestly, if any of you don't know who Keith Stroud is, look at him online and you'll see this little ref is just a goblin and he doesn't like Coventry. No, I'm being bitter. He's not been too bad today, but I'm just getting frustrated now. Coventry, come forwards. Come on. Coventry are starting to push in the right direction here. And to be fair, I haven't pointed out, you know, you can see the Cov fans behind the goal we're attacking now. So there'd be some good limbs if we can score in front of them. Chance here for the Sky Blues. Yes! Come on! It's Ellis Sims and it's 1-1. Plymouth 1, Coventry 1. Yes! Yes! What did I say, guys? Plymouth score first and Coventry come back. It's Ellis Sims and it's 1 apiece. Come on. We were behind for what, 10 minutes? Good response. It's a good response. And look, there's still time for Coventry to potentially win this. I won't get too carried away because we could still lose this. But Ellis Sims has made it 1-1 in front of the Coventry fans. Come on, boys. Sims will tear you apart again. Sims will tear you apart again. So there you go. And like I say, in front of the Coventry fans watching that back, he what does he score with? Is it his knee or was it his crotch? His initial shot was saved. I was then like, where's that bouncing? And it was I don't know if it would have gone in anyway, but Sims just sort of made sure that the ball bouncing sort of went in by hitting it with his crotch, I suppose. And Plymouth get us back underway. Yeah, it was his chest, actually. It was his chest. The keeper could have done a little bit better, but I'm not going to complain. So there you go. I mean, Ellis Sims now, he's starting to get a couple, isn't he? It'd be good if he could get at least double digits by the end of the season. That's not too unrealistic, is it? What's he on now? 5? He's on about 5, isn't he? So, 23 minutes to go. It's 1-1. Describe the goal, says Finn. It's a shot, sort of, well, a through ball. Ellis Sims shoots. keeper kind of saved it with one hand. It was bouncing kind of like it was going to go in. I'm not sure if the keeper would have got back to that. Sims kind of just sort of charged into it and chested it in. But here come Plymouth now. And Plymouth are pushing to go. Oh, it's 2-1 Plymouth. It's 2-1 Plymouth. They've scored again. It's 2-1. We were level for about 2 minutes. 2 minutes. It's naive. It's very naive. It's poor from Collins, I agree with that. It's poor from everyone, though. We've switched off there, and it's literally 2 minutes. 2 minutes after Coventry had equalised, and Plymouth are back in front. And it's not only that Coventry are losing now, they've now ruined my 1-1 prediction, which looked amazing, given that I said Plymouth would score first as well. But no, that is so poor, that. And who got that? Who got the final touch on that? Was it Whittaker again? Is that another goal for Whittaker? That wasn't Whittaker, was it? So frustrating. No, it was Miller. Miller, and it was literally 3 minutes. 3 minutes between the goals. I want to see a better replay of that, by the way, because it's from an angle, and Collins, it kind of goes through Collins. Did it take a deflection? Because I'm not sure how that's gone in. I don't know how that went in, but anyway, there you go. 2-1 Plymouth. Coventry are going to have to do it all over again. There's still 20 minutes to go, so it's not all over, but it's a setback, isn't it? And it now makes you think it looks very tricky to win this. You know, we could still... Yeah, it's not the keeper's fault, by the way, George. It's Bobby Thomas. It's gone in off Bobby Thomas. Once again, is it Bobby Thomas's fault? The player there, Miller, has whipped it in with so much pace that if a defender tries to clear it, it cannons in off their foot. But it's an instinct, isn't it, to put your foot out to try and stop it. But in the end, it's actually sort of taken it away from the goalkeeper, isn't it? So 2-1 to Plymouth, and 20 minutes to go as Coventry come forwards here with Victor Torp and Ellis Sims. Hang on, Sakamoto here. Oh, lovely feet. And Plymouth sort of push us away. It's still 2-1. Here's De Silva. Here's Hadji Wright. Plenty of time. Good block. Corner to Coventry. You've got to be that bit sharper there, Hadji Wright. You've got to be a bit sharper. So, yeah, the game has really come to life. You'd forget it was 0-0 at half-time. And you feel like there could even be another goal or two in this one. Coventry corner. I'll come to your comments in a second. I think it's going to have to go down as a Bobby Thomas own goal, that. It's gone down as a Miller goal. He put it in with so much pace, and from the angle I was, you couldn't see that it's actually taken the deflection. But it was quite a heavy one, actually, off Bobby Thomas. The Coventry corner has actually led to a Plymouth counter-attack here, but Coventry slow them down, and Plymouth now retrieve the ball inside their own half. Now that there's, 18 minutes, 19 minutes to go, you start to think, I would take a draw with us losing right now. Coventry fans, would you take a draw now? Or do you still think we can win this? We have got the ball here. There's still plenty of... I don't doubt that we can't, score again. I think we could. It's just frustrating, isn't it? How long we were level for was, 3 minutes? Coventry City clear their lines there. It remains 2-1. West Brom need to do Ipswich a favour, says Bullet Edits. What, because West Brom plays Southampton next, you mean? Has there been any changes to the other scores, guys? Let's just catch up. I don't think there has been. Huddersfield 1-0. Plymouth 2-1. Preston 2-1, Stoke 1-0, Ipswich 3-0. So it was just like how we left it. Khan says, we can win this. Hopefully. Sky Blue Army, says Emily. Guys, once again, a massive thank you for your support in here. There's 340 people in here. If you haven't already, just take 2 seconds to drop a like. It takes 2 seconds, so please drop a thumbs up while you're there right now. And to anyone who hasn't subscribed yet, it's free to do and you really help me out. So click the subscribe button. You don't have to do anything else. It just really helps the channel if you subscribe. So get involved if you're a new or a regular viewer that hasn't subscribed yet. Coventry City with possession. They go back to Collins. There's got to be that bit more urgency now, though, as we start to head towards, you know, final 18 minutes or so, 17 minutes. Norwich News says we're still in the playoffs. Yeah, I mean, if you're a Norwich or a Hull City or a West Brom fan, the results are going your way tonight because Coventry and Sunderland are both losing. Coventry get a corner here. It'd be nice if Bobby Thomas could go up and get an equaliser. I'd feel like it's making up for his error that led to the Plymouth goal, I suppose. I'm not holding him entirely responsible, but it wouldn't have gone in if it didn't hit him at the same time, I suppose. So it's one of them, innit? Paddy says Brad Collins needs to go. When was his last clean sheet? He's terrible. I don't feel the same way, but I do agree that we don't keep clean sheets, but that's probably a collective effort as well. We're a different team to last season. We were a bit more defensive last year, and that's why I think we kept more clean sheets as a team, not just as for the keeper. But yeah, there was an interesting stat online the other day that Collins has the best save percentage out of the Championship keepers. It was something like that, so that's quite good. Coventry corner comes to nothing, but we've still got the ball here in the Plymouth half. I'd definitely take a 2-2 draw at this point. But we lose the ball, and here come Plymouth Argyle. Well done, boys. Clear your lines. Bobby Thomas smashes it up the pitch. A little bit cagey in the middle there. Ultimately, if it's... Oh, hang on. Still a chance here. Had you right. Oh, his touch is a bit heavy there. He gets a corner, though. The difference literally is the finishing today. That's all it is. Bar maybe a little bit of luck, you could say, with Plymouth's second goal, but you can credit the Plymouth player who smashed it into the box at 1,000,000 miles per hour and said he caused a panic, I guess. Uh, 2-1 it remains. There's people in the live chat trying to say it's 2-2. It isn't. It isn't 2-2. Well, it could be, and then maybe if a goal goes in now, but I can't see it being 2-2 anywhere online either. Corner comes in, Plymouth head it away. Yeah, if you're trying to spam in the live chat with fake scores, then please don't. Plymouth 2, Coventry 1 it remains. There's a bit of a naughty challenge there from Latibodia. The referee's just pulled him up on. Yeah, people are saying it's 2-2. It isn't 2-2. I can check actually on here online as well to see if I am incorrect. It is still 2-1. So please don't put fake scores in the live chat. Still 15 minutes, you know, plus 4 or 5 added minutes. Plenty of time, though, for it to be 2-2. If Plymouth score next, though, that will be it, won't it? Yeah, the next person to put a fake score in the live chat, I'll just time out because we don't want that, do we? Plymouth free kick here, about 35 yards out. It's a bit too far to shoot, I think, really. They can maybe try and cross it in. but it's pretty central, so it'd have to be sort of lofted over the top. No changes in the scorelines anywhere. In the Championship, still 1-0 Huddersfield, 2-1 Plymouth, 2-1 Preston, 1-0 Stoke and 3-0 Ipswich. No draws at the moment. Callum the Dragon, how you doing, man? He's back in the live chat. It's good to see him. Plymouth making a couple substitutions that have slowed things down a bit, which is a bit annoying, really, I must say. But, yeah, there you go. Wayne comes on for Hardy. 13 minutes to go. It remains 2-1. Callum the Dragon says, at least you are playing better than we did against Plymouth. What was your score at Plymouth, Cal? What did Cardiff do at Plymouth? Did they get hammered or something? Should be winning this, says George, but I'd take a draw. Is Simon Moore still at Coventry, says Matt? I think he is, isn't he? Josh Eccles has come on for Latibodia. Well, it was just after Eccles came off against Millwall that we actually got our 2 goals. Not to say it was entirely his fault that we were losing, but we'll see if his substitution can make a difference tonight. Plymouth's free kick after all that waiting has gone out for a goal kick to Coventry. What are your thoughts on Birmingham, says Blue Shadow? What, as a city or as the team? The team's okay. They got a good result yesterday. Kind of feel a bit sorry for their fans, to be honest. Because they were actually all right under John Eustace, and if I'm being honest, they were a bit pathetic under Wayne Rooney. But Tony Mowbray was a exciting manager for Coventry, and he has been at his previous clubs. I find Tony Mowbray a bit to be like a short-term success. He could start you off to a really good start of the season, good loan signings and stuff, but it doesn't tend to be like a long-term option, actually. Here's De Silva. He gives it to Casey Palmer. Oh, it took a deflection. It's a corner to Coventry. Missing O'Hare tonight, says Ella. Yeah, that could be what it is. I genuinely think, though, as well, we really, really regretting that first half miss from Matty Godden. If we get something from the game, we're not looking back on those misses so much, but Matty Godden must be on the bench thinking, please, someone bail me out here, because that is one of the big talking points if Coventry don't win this tonight. He missed a real sitter at 0-0. Coventry corner headed over for a goal kick to Plymouth. 10 minutes to go. And, at this point, I'd definitely take a draw. When there's 20 minutes to go, it's possible you come back and win it. And who knows, we could still try and come back and win it, but a draw would be a decent salvage job at this point. But I knew Plymouth would be tricky. I just knew it would be. I knew it would be tricky. Coventry come forwards again. We're into the final 10 minutes. Coventry are really going to go for it. Stay tuned to see if there's any late drama, guys. There's 350 people in here. It's great to see so many. Please make sure you've hit the like button. We're literally on 349 likes. So if one more person can hit the like button, then we will hit 350 likes. Drop a like and subscribe. Coventry haven't got possession now. Plymouth are coming down the other end. The ball goes straight into Collins' arms, and he's happy to get the ball bowled out quickly as Coventry look to go straight down the other end. Good urgency here from the Sky Blues. Oh, Josh Eccles, what are you doing? Hadji Wright draws the foul. Coventry free kick on the left-hand side of the halfway line. Ben says Harrogate lost 9-2. Yes, that was mental. They beat. They lost 9-2 to Mansfield, didn't they? That was a crazy scoreline. You don't see 9-2s very often, maybe once every 10 years. Crazy scoreline. Here's Liam Kitchen. Gives it to De Silva. Bobby Thomas now to Kitchen. Josh Eccles goes back to Kitchen. Yeah, I mean, 9-2 in a Football League game, not like a Sunday League game, to win 9-2. I actually can't think of any other games that I know have finished 9-2. So yeah, that was mental. It's not like it actually happens every 10 years in the Football League. It probably happens once every 50 years in the Football League, a result like that. Buying red card, someone said. Throw the kitchen at them. Throw the kitchen, Liam. I like it. Coventry corner. I tell you what, although I like Victor Torp's corners, they ain't been great today. They haven't led to anything, I suppose. We have had a few. Plymouth Argyle clear their lines, and it does feel like we know what to expect now. With 7 minutes to go, it's going to be a Plymouth defensive / counter-attacking performance. Coventry, kitchen sink time soon. It's a poor pass from Casey Palmer, and Plymouth get a goal kick, and it's things like that will really frustrate us here as the clock starts to work against Coventry. And it'll be 2 defeats in 3 for Coventry. I know it's not a massive crisis, but given the good run we're on, it seems like a little bit of a dip, doesn't it? It's misty again, says Emily. It is, isn't it? It's got a bit foggy. It's like Plymouth have turned it on since they scored, so Coventry can't find an equaliser. But it has gone misty in the last minute or two. Do you know what? The referee's going to have to abandon the game then, isn't he? Call it off. Plymouth don't win. Plymouth fans, if there's many of you guys in here, there's about 5 minutes to go. You're nearly there. Coventry fans, surely we're all thinking, just get a draw and get out of here now, if we can. We've got the ball on the halfway line, but Plymouth have kind of set up not to be broken down easily here, and Coventry have to rethink as we move it back into our own half. The clock is working against Coventry. There hasn't been any changes to the Championship scores in the last few minutes. Just to remind you, still 1-0 to Huddersfield, 1-0 to Stoke, 2-1 to Plymouth, of course, 2-1 to Preston, and still 3-0 to Ipswich. They are the scores. And Plymouth get a throw in here in Coventry's half. Graham says too late to call it off now. Yeah, it was a joke. It was a joke. Although I have known games in the Football League, not a Coventry game, but I have known games to be called off like in stoppage time, which is quite crazy, really. Plymouth Argyle free kick on the left hand side, whipped in. That should have been 3-1, and Coventry come away with it. Collins didn't sort of command his box very well there, and Plymouth nearly scored when the ball was loose. And Coventry counter-attack leads to Plymouth giving Coventry a throw-in deep inside the Plymouth half. I mean, 3-1 would be a little bit hard to swallow here for Coventry. We haven't deserved to be beaten 3-1, I must say. I'm not just being biased here, but I do think Coventry merit a draw at least today. I'm not going to go over the top and say Coventry have dominated this game. We haven't. Plymouth have taken their chances well, but that's all it is. It's about taking chances, and if we can muster up an equaliser, that'd be great. I feel like we've played well enough to get one, but yeah, we've got it on the halfway line here. We're struggling to break Plymouth down. Their shape's pretty good. Oh, and Torp passes it out for a Plymouth throw-in. And it's getting a bit frustrating here. This will be a bit of it will hurt this one if we do lose this. It's not over until the final whistle, says David. Absolutely. XG says Coventry should lead this game, says Robert. Let's have a look at Sofa Scores XG on this. It does have Coventry about 2-1 up. Shots, Coventry just a bit more. Possession, Coventry more. Corners, Coventry more. But the important one, goals, Plymouth 2-1. So that's that's how it is. 3 minutes to go. Here come Plymouth. Here they come down the left-hand side. Not good enough for the playoffs, says Sean. I wouldn't say that. It's a bit much to just say after one game we're not good enough for the playoffs. I've said, I genuinely have said for a few weeks now, it's going to be like that. I think now we've kind of got to, now we've recovered from a slow start, it's can we stay in the playoffs? And today we're not going to, actually. We're losing, so we're going to fall out of it. But I think it'll be a bit like that over the next few weeks. 6th, down to 8th, up to 5th, down to 9th, up to 6th again, down to 10th. We're going to bob up and down. I really can't see much now, I must say. The fog is quite bad, but I can see that Plymouth are coming forwards and a shot goes wide there. The game is really starting to work in Plymouth's favour here. The game plan is counter-attack Coventry, because Coventry have got to go for it and Plymouth are finding quite a bit of joy on the counter-attack. How much stoppage time do we think there's going to be, guys? How much stoppage time do you think there's going to be? I reckon about 5. And Whittaker's come off here for Plymouth, so that's slowed the game down a bit more again. If we can snatch a draw here, I'll be very happy. Yeah, people are saying 4 or 5 minutes. I reckon 5 minutes. I'm going to set one last like target for you guys today as we head in towards stoppage time. People are saying 6 minutes. Let's smash 400 likes by the end of today's stream. If you've not already hit the like button, last chance just to support the stream. Whether you're a Plymouth or a Coventry fan, please do get involved. Drop a like, subscribe. The game stopped there for a minute because Plymouth made a substitution, but all eyes on the board. How much is going up? We've got 30 seconds where I am to see. Plymouth throwing inside their own half, and it's getting a bit frustrating here. They're just sort of they're doing what a team does when they're winning a tight game. They're taking their time with things, which is fair enough. And the board is about to come up here. How much added time is there? There is 6 minutes. 6 minutes for Coventry to salvage something. That's a fair bit of time, that. 6 minutes, I'm happy with that. I would have been happy with 5. I thought it'd be about 5. But it's 6. 6 minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere. Plenty of time. Coventry with possession inside our own half. We've got the ball, but we've got to do something with it, haven't we? We've got to get it up the other end. I reckon there's at least 2 half chances, possibly 1 golden chance still left in that time. It might not be for Coventry, though. It's about, can we break them down? Here's Ellis Sims, Casey Palmer. Plymouth clear it out for a Coventry throw-in. So Coventry do have it deep in the Plymouth half. Plymouth have got pretty much everyone back here, but Coventry, you've got to credit Plymouth. I know they've not won yet, but their shape has been really good when they've been in front. And it's really frustrated Coventry. Oh, come on. Throw into Coventry here. Taken quickly to Victor Torp. Remember, an equaliser puts Coventry back in the playoffs. and we lose the ball. It goes out for a Plymouth throw-in. There's still plenty of time though, 6 minutes. Not that I want to be, you know, in this position, but there's still at least chance for an equaliser with the time we've got left. Can we do it? I don't know. We need O'Hare, says Finn. Casey Palmer is your best player. He's too good for this league, says Ben. Strugger says, huge congratulations on 56k subs, Matt. You deserve it. So much great content. Oh, cheers, Struggers. Coventry with possession again on the halfway line. We've got to get it forwards. Time is against us. A draw puts us back in the playoffs. Can we do it though? Here come Plymouth. They get a throw-in in the Coventry half. We're not done just yet, but we're running out of time. The win is off the cards at this point. It's all about, can you get a 2-2 draw, which is a bit disappointing. You know, I mean, if we get the draw, that's fine, but that it's come to this, we just haven't taken our chances today. 3 of the stoppage minutes have been played, 3 minutes to go. Just one last reminder, guys. Thank you for your great support. If you've not already hit the like button, last chance to do so. Please make sure to drop a like. Oh no. I don't like that. Plymouth look dangerous there. Oh, you're joking. Plymouth free kick on the edge of the box. It's not looking likely, is it? Still time, but what I do hope Keith Stroud does here, is that a foul, by the way? Yeah, that is a foul. That's a free kick to Plymouth. I've got no problems with that. What I hope Keith Stroud is doing, though, is stopping his watch and starting it again when the free kick's taken, because this is going to take a minute, and you know, nothing's been played out in that time. Guys, last chance, like I say, to drop a like. What are we on? We're pushing for 400. We're on 390. 10 likes away. Please make sure you've dropped a like. It's free to do. Hit the thumbs up button, and last chance for anyone who's not already subscribed to make sure you've hit the subscribe button. Whoever you support, get involved, support the channel. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in today. It's free to subscribe, so click the subscribe button to help me out. Thank you so much. Coventry get a throw in inside our own half, but we've got 1 minute and 30. We're running out of time, aren't we? 1 minute and 30. If we can get something here, I mean, we're talking a minute now. 1 minute and 5. A minute. Here's Ellis Sims. We've got a chance. This is it. At least we've got time for one last chance. It'll be a free kick to Coventry on the left-hand side. This is it then. Coventry have the chance. It's got to go in, this free kick. It's got to go in. Oh, I don't like it. I feel a bit nervous here. Victor Torp stands over this. Seconds to go. If Coventry snatch a draw, we go in the playoffs, and that's good enough for me. Here we go then. Yes! It's 2-2! It's 2-2! Yes! Come on! Get in there! Yes! 96 on the clock, and Coventry have levelled it up. 2-2. Let's take our draw and go back home. Yes! It's 2-2. Coventry have levelled it up with probably the last kick of the game. It's a pretty ugly goal, let's be honest. It's Bobby Thomas it's Liam Kitchen who's going to claim it. And that will be that, surely. Whoa. Let's take our point and run. Let's take our point and run. It's terrible defending. Oh, it's a bit unlucky, really. The keeper kicks the post. He's not very happy with his defenders there. Oh, it's a terrible goal, but I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Liam Kitchen, I think it will go down as his goal, as the full-time whistle is surely going to go now. And Coventry have surely scored with the last kick of the game. There were 6 minutes added. That has gone down as a 96th minute goal. Liam, 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 Kitchen, Bobby, 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 Thomas, Liam, 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 Kitchen, full time. It is full time. Coventry have not lost today. We'll take our 2-2 draw. Come on. It feels like a win. It's because it was so late. I got to the point, I convinced myself we'd lost. But we take a draw from Home Park, which is not an easy place to go and get results. Get in there. Commiserations, Plymouth fans. I mean, they've not lost, but we did have a few Plymouth fans in here that will be gutted to lose that one. Well, not lose it, but to lose 2 points so late on. But let's be honest, on reflection, Coventry merited a draw, at least a draw. I thought we had plenty of decent chances, and that one could be a precious point. 96 on the clock, and I couldn't even describe it to you. I think the problem here, Plymouth will be really annoyed that they didn't put a one-man wall in. The free kick is on the left-hand side. It's a very tight angle, so it's almost like a corner, but close. And Plymouth think we won't waste one man on a wall. A one-man wall probably would have stopped that. Torp puts it in. The first man is Liam Kitchen. It ricocheted off him and the first Plymouth defender and just kind of snuck in the near post. The keeper couldn't quite block it. It wasn't a very good goal, but you take it. It's the point that matters here. And Coventry goes 6th. Yes! Come on then. We'll take that. We'll take that all day long. We love some late limbs, don't we? Guys, I'm going to come to your comments in a second. Make sure you've dropped a like. Tonight has been a really, really fascinating stream. I mean, I'm happy with a draw. I did say I'd take a draw before the game. Comment your thoughts down below. Drop a like, subscribe. I'll still be here for a couple more minutes. So like I say, if you've enjoyed what you've seen here tonight, hit the subscribe button. We do football content on this channel. Support us over here by dropping a subscribe. Make sure you've dropped a like as well. And let's have a look at some of your comments. AD says, Sky Blue Army. Ella says, put a bet in today, mate, for Coventry to go up. I get over to a few more games to bring the Irish look. Come on, Coventry. Absolutely. Cheers for joining us, Ella. Coventry says the king plays me. Glimpse says it's a good draw. Mr. Bloxy says Coventry is goated. Mark says well done, Coventry. Jack says you all got so lucky. Yeah, I mean, it will seem really unfortunate to Plymouth, but from where Coventry are concerned, I thought we'd merited a draw. And look at that, it does go down as a 96th minute equaliser. And should we have a look at the table, boys? We're in the playoffs again. Just look how close it is. Look how close it is between Coventry, Norwich, Hull and Preston and Sunderland there. Remember, guys, Hull City have got that game in hand, but it is away at Southampton, so that's not easy. And Coventry's next game, guys, is away at Stoke. They won tonight. I'll go over the full-time results in a second. Let's get some more comments in, though. What are you guys saying? Great support, Matt, with flying past 56k. Thank you so much. And that's down to you guys. Just make sure every single one of you have subscribed, and I'm very happy with you guys. You guys have been amazing. Sky Blue Army, says Mr. Bloxy. Sky Blue Army. Hull have a game in hand, says Benny. They do, but it is away against Southampton, so it's a tricky one. It's very tight, isn't it? About to tame the Tigers at the CBS, says Finn. Coventry v Hull will be a big game. That one could be rearranged, by the way, because that's on the same weekend as the FA Cup quarter-final. So if Coventry beat Maidstone, the Coventry-Hull game will get rearranged. Let's have a look at some more of your comments. Matt, you need 60k. Oh no, we'll get there soon. Like I say, make sure you've subscribed then. Cov fans go wild, says Khan. Yeah, honestly, and right in front of the Coventry fans, that equaliser as well. Not a great goal to watch back, but the limbs were quite enjoyable. Let's have a look. Hull v Leeds. Good luck, lol, says Finn. Is that the next game? I don't think Hull have got Leeds next, have they? They have got them at some point soon. So let's run through the scores with you guys before we sign off. Huddersfield with a big win over Sunderland, moving them a bit clearer of trouble. Plymouth 2, Coventry 2 with the late equaliser there. Preston 2, Middlesbrough 1. Stoke 1, QPR 0. Millwall 0, Ipswich 3 is not a full-time result just yet. There you go, guys. And like I say, the table left like this. I mean, Ipswich, we know they're going to win now, surely, with 8 minutes left and it's 3-0. Coventry occupy that final playoff spot, but it is close. They all count, says Lee. That's it. You take your points. You take your goals however they come. I don't care if, I mean, it's nice if you score a good goal, but let's just get the goals anyway. Torp, the new Hamer, I think, says Steve. Yes, yeah, could, yeah. Similar, I suppose. And he's doing the job of Ben Sheaf at the moment, I suppose, with Ben Sheaf being out. I just think we've got plenty of decent midfielders now. I'm just watching that Coventry equaliser back, and it's, it's such a weird goal. That is Sunday League level stuff. Ultimately, the main problem for Plymouth is they didn't have a one-man wall. Yes, I know it's a tight position, and you probably think, oh, it's a waste putting one man there. But it just left it open for Torp to put it where he wanted. With no men in a wall, it was easy. Let's have a look. Deserved draw, says Finn. Great game, says Macaulay. Goal makes prizes, says Stephen. Win at home, draw away, says Lee. Exactly that. Although we go away to Stoke at the weekend, and not that I'd be heartbroken with a draw, but let's try and win that one now. I said 4 points on the road would be good, and we've taken a draw here. Let's go and beat Stoke at the weekend. Guys, I'm going to sign off in a minute. Just make sure you have dropped a like and subscribed. All of your support is massively appreciated, so please keep it coming. Yeah, like I say, keep those comments coming down below. What was I going to do? I was going to do one more thing before I sign off. I can't remember what it was. Well, I'll get a few more comments in. Get your comments down below. I'm just going to plug my Insta down there because I never do that. So if you want to drop that a follow, head to the link in the live chat. It's completely free to just drop a follow on there, and might do some follow back. So go over there and get involved in the link I've just dropped if you like what you see. Love your vlogs, says Macaulay. Cheers, buddy. Lee's put a thumbs up. Coventry dominated the stats today, says George. Yes, I mean, on the stat front, yes. But on the eye, I thought, it wasn't like we dominated. I would say yes, based on stats, we had the better. But I don't want to... It didn't feel like Coventry really battered them. Do you know what I mean? It was between Coventry being better and a close game, if that makes sense. Ultimately, it's a draw, and I'm fairly happy with that. Right, I'm going to call it a day, guys. Last chance, as I say, to get some final comments in. You can start saying goodbye. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Like I say, yeah, just make sure you've dropped a like and subscribed. Check out some of the other videos. We did Premier League predictions today, me and Sophie. But I'm going to call it a day. Let's have a look at a few more. Cover going up, someone said. Torp, not the new Hamer, looks more complete and composed as far as I can see. Looks a good signing. Yeah, and you don't ever sort of have to say a player is a direct replacement. You can have players that play in the same position that offer something different as well. 2-2 was a fair result, said Lee. Off to work now, says Steve. Oh, God. Well, I hope you have a good shift, mate. It's a late one then, by the sounds of it. Thanks, Matt. Great stream as always. Till next time, good night. George says, must win against Stoke. And yes, safe journey to Stoke, George. I know he's going to that one. If you want to see our Stoke versus Coventry stream, then join us on Saturday. Make sure you subscribe so you see it when it's live. And I'm going to call it a day there, guys. My voice is starting to go. We'll be back on the channel tomorrow, me and Sophie, doing our championship predictions for the weekend. But for now, though, guys, a massive thank you for your support. And Plymouth and Coventry has finished 2-2. Coventry get out of home park with a Desmond. Drop a like, subscribe, click the link down below, follow the Instagram if you want to, and I'm going to call it a night, guys. I'm happy with the draw. If you're a Plymouth fan, commiserations, you didn't win, but I thought you played fairly well and a solid mid-table championship side. As for Coventry, I think most Coventry fans have got to be happy with that. It's another point towards our collection, and we end the night in the championship playoff places. We'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace out.